us in the parking lot, smoking with your friends. Girl, I know we don't talk a lot, but I'm wondering, can I get your number before you walk away?
Would you believe me if I told you I have never read this book, never watched the series, and never watched any of the movies, but I am a massive fan of reading. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and today is a monumental day because at the ripe age of 18, I'm going to be reading Percy Jackson for the very first time. Now I know what you're saying. Wait, you haven't read Percy Jackson yet? Aren't you like a reader? Have you not been culturally relevant? And to that my answer is no. I've not read a single page, I've not watched the series, and I've not watched any of the movies. Which is honestly very strange considering I'm a very big Greek and Roman mythology fan. Join me as I crack open the spine to this very first book, The Lightning Thief. Except I won't actually crack it open because I borrowed this book from a friend and I respect her too much. Don't damage your friend's books. Without further ado, let's get into it. Before I start, I just want to put out a little disclaimer. This is going to be a full spoiler reading vlog, so if you don't know what's going to happen in this book, don't watch the video. I really hope that I enjoy it. I'm going to make quite a few comments on the Greek myths throughout because, like I said, I'm a massive Greek mythology fan, so there will be quite a few rants. Before we jump into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you do not miss a chapter of this journey. Let's read Percy Jackson. Okay, hello and welcome. We are on day 1 of reading Percy Jackson for the very first time. I don't actually have the physical copy on me right now because I asked to borrow it from a friend, meant to get it yesterday, and then she forgot it at home. So we are doing Kindle for now. I will probably get the physical copy from her on Wednesday. Now we shall deal with the Kindle edition. Let me lay out what I know. There's a character called Percy. I think it's like he's like the son of a god or something. It might be like Zeus because there's lightning there and it's the lightning thief, so it might be Zeus. Okay, book 1. I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher. Wow.
It's a Friday night at a function on 5th. I'm looking for you like a satellite, so if you wanna dip, let's dip, baby. There's a spot that nobody knows. We could take a little trip. You can feel it in your bones.
And there is a teacher that is on this school trip with them, and her name is Mrs. Dodds. I have been taught by a Mrs. Dodds, who is very, very much the exact same person that this Mrs. Dodds is. Like, it is kind of uncanny. Like, the favoritism, the kind of mean teacher vibe. We have Grover, who's the friend, who's older. There's something fishy going on there. And then we have Mr. Brunner, who seems like a cool guy. But I think there's like some kind of secret about him. Because there's this one bit, like, I mumbled something about trying harder. Well, Mr. Brunner took one long sad look at the stele, like he'd been at this girl's funeral. They're at a Greek mythology / Roman exhibit museum thing, and my guy is looking at like an obelisk of like a funeral dedication to some girl, and it's saying like he'd been at this girl's funeral. I don't know, maybe he was. I've just finished the first chapter and there's a lot of stuff that's happened. The maths teacher was evil. She turned into like some kind of demon thing. And then the guy in the wheelchair, Mr. Brunner, he just had a pen that turned into a sword. And then Percy killed the maths teacher, vaporized the maths teacher. Wow. I honestly don't know what to say. And now apparently she didn't even exist. And now Grover's like, he's suspicious. Like, I don't know, but I don't think he's evil suspicious because there was some kind of link between him and the other teacher that gave Percy the sword pen thing. Also, right, the sword and the pen, how poetic. I don't know if you know, but there's a quote that's like, mighty is the hand that knows when to choose the sword and when to choose the pen, something like that. It's something about how writers hold influence just as much as soldiers do. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool little connection. So far so good. I'm actually really enjoying it. I think because it is a middle grade book, it's obviously going to be really fast paced, which would actually be such a nice change after just reading a bunch of slow high fantasy books for the last little bit. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I actually have to get back to studying now because I'm currently in the middle of exams, but I'll take a break probably in like 2 hours. I'll read some more and then yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'm really excited to be reading this. I am back. It is the next day and I have a couple of updates. I read till about 15% of the book last night and I have a couple of thoughts. I've made some highlights and I'm trying not to focus on every single small detail that I've read because I would literally be here forever. I am an English student, that is probably why. So the first thing I have to say is in regards to all the mythology references so far. As a big Greek mythology fan, this is really cool to read. The first big one was the Minotaur. Or technically the Fates, but I'll talk about the Minotaur. So the Minotaur in Greek mythology is like a really scary creature. And essentially the Minotaur is linked with Zeus because the Minotaur was created as a result of some king guy not sacrificing a bull to Zeus. So that is again kind of reinforcing my idea that Zeus is Percy's father, because I think at this point nobody knows who his father is. His mom has died, which is really, really sad. I mean, I guess every kid kind of has to have that, like, there needs to be an inciting incident, and that is that for Percy. And then there was this quote which I thought was so cute. Oh, so it was revealed that Grover is a satire, so he's essentially Mr. Tumnus. I shook his fairy hip thinking, no, even if you are a half barnyard animal, you're my best friend and I don't want you to die. That is so sweet. Like, at least Percy isn't going into like this new camp completely friendless. And then we had the appearance of Chiron, who plays a big factor in the book The Song of Achilles and the whole sort of myth around Achilles and Patroclus. And it was so cool like seeing him as a character, because I feel like it's almost like Cassandra Clare's books in the fact that you get these like mythical objects or people, just these characters end up interacting with them. And I was reading and it was like talking about Mr. D and how he was one of the camp like founders, and I was like, wait a second, this guy seems, there's something, like why would we not know his name, right? And then he says names have great power, and then it goes on to Percy saying, oh, you know, this guy is not a stranger to alcohol. Oh yes, Mr. D offended his father a while back, took a fancy to a wood nymph who'd been declared off limits. That wood nymph is Nicaea, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, this is Dionysus. This Mr. D, Dionysus, alcohol, literally the god of wine. I was right, it's Dionysus. And okay, first of all, I was really, really like proud of myself for figuring that out before we got told. And second of all, like just the little links, like obviously this is going to be quite a dumbed down version of Greek myth because it is a children's book. I'm really enjoying the way he's doing it. And then we have the very first introduction to Annabeth, who I'm pretty sure she's like a romantic interest for Percy. The first line she says to him is, you drool when you sleep. This girl seems like she's gonna be fab. It also says that she's been here for like a long, long time. I have a feeling that she's also gonna be orphaned, bit of trauma. I am going to start chapter 6. I'm gonna keep noting down all my annotations on my Kindle, and then I'll update you when I have more to say. But, you know, I mean, I'm only 5 chapters in and so far it's really good. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I honestly can't believe I haven't read this before. It's crazy.
Class in the parking lot, smoking with your friends. Girl, I know we don't talk a lot, but I'm wondering, can I get your number before you walk away? We can sneak out on the weekend.
It is the next day and I got to about 50% of the book this morning. I read quite a bit last night and then this morning I woke up and I read another chapter. Please excuse the fact that I look quite rough right now. I have an exam in like 5 hours. That is terrifying, but you know what? If we just ignore it, it'll pass, it'll be good. I have a couple things to talk about, which I did highlight. So the last chapter that I finished was the chapter where they fought Medusa. I'm just going to preface this by saying I understand it's a children's book and that this was written, the myth of Medusa hadn't been as modernized yet. The explanation for how Medusa came as she was that Athena cursed her as a result of Medusa being Poseidon's girlfriend and then meeting up in Athena's temple. So the real story is that Medusa, one day she went to the temple of Athena because she was either an acolyte or a priestess or something like that. She went to the temple of Athena and she had really, really beautiful hair, and Poseidon was enthralled by her appearance and he forced himself upon her. So Athena didn't curse her. To get back at Poseidon, Athena gifted Medusa by taking away the thing that had allured Poseidon, her hair, and giving her snakes to her instead, and gave her the power to turn anyone who looked at her in the eyes to stone. She ended up living with her sisters for a couple more years, and then she eventually actually got killed by Percy Jackson. I thought that was a cool little parallel. Percy Jackson sending Medusa's head to Olympus. That was iconic, might I just add. I did think all the little links between Auntie M being Medusa, the gnome garden place, and Grover saying that one of the satyr statues looked a lot like Uncle Ferdinand, that was really smart. The moment I start predicting things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got that right. But then I'm like, yeah, Kaylin, you're an 18-year-old reading a middle grade book that's supposed to be pretty predictable. But yes, I also can't remember if I spoke about the capturing of the flag and Percy. Oh yes, Percy was revealed as Poseidon's son, not Zeus. Zeus is trying to kill Percy, as I was thinking, but not for the reasons I thought. Annabeth said to Percy, our parents are rivals, and I noted down that is the perfect rivals to lovers plot setup. So I just thought that was quite cute. I do realise I am going in a reverse order, but that's how I've highlighted it. Then we have Luke patted Grover's head between his horns, then gave a goodbye hug to Annabeth, who looked like she might pass out. And I said, not gonna lie girl, same. Because Luke is the only character in this that's like my age / older than me, so that's the only character I feel like I can be like, oh. Plus he seems like a nice guy. Okay, yes, and then we have the visit with the oracle. You shall fail to save what matters most in the end. He's probably going to fail to save his mum, because I think that's what matters most. And then it also talks about being betrayed by a friend, but I don't think it'll be either Grover or Annabeth. I think it might be someone else. He doesn't really have many friends though, so that's a bit of a mystery. And one more thing, the adults like Chiron and them are talking about how bad it is that this lightning bolt is stolen, literally saying destruction, carnage, millions dead, Western civilization turned into a battleground so big it'll make the Trojan War look like a water balloon fight. And we have waited till there's 10 days left till the solstice to then send this 12-year-old kid to find this bolt. Literally the fate of humanity is lying on Percy's shoulders right now, and they've given him 10 days. It's really nice to be able to read a book that's like, it's fun. You don't have to think about it too much, especially during my exams. The next chapter is chapter 12. We get advice from a poodle. Fun. To talk about is the portrayal of Medusa. Athena loved Medusa. Medusa was a priestess of Athena in Athena's temple, and the fact that she was defiled in Athena's temple meant that Athena was mad at Poseidon, if anyone. So in the book, she is viewed as the villain. Here's what I would have done differently, right, while still keeping her in the book. First of all, she wouldn't have liked Percy because Percy is the son of Poseidon and she doesn't like Poseidon. She could have still tried to attack Percy, but she would have liked Annabeth. She would have tried to protect Annabeth, tried to keep her, or turn her to stone because she wanted to keep a symbol of the person who saved her, Athena. So that's what I would have done, to still make her seem like villainous, less of sort of a caricature villain, more of a villain with a motive and a backstory. You know, she would have been someone who readers could have seen as not necessarily a villain, but a victim as well. And she is a product of the experiences that made her into a villain. But again, I'm not the writer. I do understand it is a book for kids, and there would have been a lot of tiny little changes that Rick Riordan has made. and I'm pretty sure that that is actually changed in the series. I have a friend who actually lent me the book, who has been talking to me about the series because I do want to watch it after I read the book, and she said that they actually did change the sort of backstory and presentation of Medusa, so I'm quite actually excited to see that when I do watch the series. Okay, and what else have we learned? We have learned about Annabeth's backstory. We know that she had a bit of an abusive stepmom. Dad didn't really want her. And we also learned that she and Luke were the two kids that arrived to Camp Half-Blood with Talia and Grover as the satire. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, I did kind of guess that that was going to happen. I think I'm so proud of myself for guessing that things are going to happen, but then I literally remind myself that I am an English student, so I know how to read in between the lines, and it is a kid's book, so it is not meant to be the most intricate, plot twisty, hidden meaning kind of book. Okay, I'm going to go through a few of the quotes that I've kind of picked out and I want to talk about because Rick Riordan's writing is actually so good. The way that he writes each character, like they're very distinctly their own character. So for example, I've read to the part where Percy just kind of jumps out of the arch. I don't know where they are, but he jumped out of some arch like 600 feet in the air and he's just kind of in a river. First of all, the chimera being a chihuahua. That is perfect parallels. Second, two quotes. The first one, great, I thought, we've just blown up a national monument. This man is like falling to his death and he's like, ha, fantastic, I've just blown up a national monument. And then we have when he's falling, it's so funny, he says, I'd love to tell you I had some deep revelation on the way down. The truth, my only thought was, I thought that was really funny because it's very accurate. A 12-year-old boy would be thinking, if he were to ever fall off a 600-foot building into a river. And he's just kind of chilling at the bottom of the river and he just goes, thanks, father. Like he's just talking to himself, thanks, father. Yes, and then the water nymph comes up to him and she tells him about how he's doing the right thing, his father's proud of him, blah, blah, blah. Then she goes on to say, do not trust the gifts. Right, let me talk about this for a second. So far, we've only gotten 2 gifts in the books. We've gotten the sword, Riptide, and we've gotten the shoes, which Grover is wearing, right? This also leads back to somebody who's a friend will betray you. Now, this was then followed by them talking to Luke. This could go 2 ways. Either Luke is bad, or Rick Riordan is going to make it seem like Luke is bad. Like, oh, he's the one that's going to betray us, oh, blah, blah, blah. But in actual fact, it's somebody else who's using Luke as kind of like a red herring. So I think either Luke is evil or he's a red herring, and I'm not sure which. I haven't made up my mind yet. I kind of hope he's a red herring because I really like him. He's only been in like a couple of chapters, but I really like him. Then we go on a side quest from Ares, of all people. I actually quite like Ares in the myths. Bit of a violent guy, but he kind of sticks to himself. There's not too much drama there. He's a war god. Of course he's going to cause some drama, but that's all good. We love that. There is a quote, so they go and they try to find Ares's shield, and Percy notices that the tunnel where they were is full of mirrors. So he thinks to himself, oh, they can look at their favourite people while smooching each other, which is themselves, talking about Ares and Aphrodite who have met up to hook up. They are televised live to Olympus, thanks to Hephaestus. I strongly dislike Hephaestus in the myths. I read a book where it essentially said that he tried to force himself on Athena, and first of all, she didn't have it, she didn't allow him to, so thank goodness. But he's just, I don't know, he just comes off like a little creep sometimes. Which is kind of true because he was literally going to broadcast Aphrodite and Ares hooking up to the entire Olympus because he has a petty little thing about them getting together. And then we have Percy and Annabeth going on the thrill ride of love. I did not miss that little tidbit. I thought it was really cute. And then Annabeth is scared of spiders. Honestly, same girl. I have arachnophobia quite badly, and reading that I was like, I would do the same. I would be screaming my head off rather than doing anything. If tiny little mechanical spiders were climbing on me, I would die. But I thought that was a really cute little addition, like, because Athena technically cursed Arachne, or Arachne's children hate Athena's children, which makes so much sense. And I thought that was a cute little addition. Then we have Ares telling us an important little bit of information. Percy's mother is not dead, she's being kept, right? This reinforces my idea that Percy has the lightning bolt and he just doesn't know it yet. He found it somehow and he has it on him. And Hades doesn't have the lightning bolt but wants Percy to bring it to him. And he's going to use his mother as leverage to get the bolt. Then we got to the Lotus Hotel, which was a really fun little scene, but also really scary. Okay, and we are now out of the Lotus Hotel, and we have 1 day left to get the bolt back to Zeus. And that is terrifying because, how far are we? Wait, page 266, this far through, 70%, with about 30% left. I'm really excited to get going, so I'm going to read for a bit. I actually have an exam. I have to leave for an exam in 45 minutes, so that's not fun. But you know what, we're going to distract ourselves by reading some Percy Jackson first.
It's a Friday night, we at a function on 5th. I'm looking for you like a satellite, so if you wanna dip, let's dip, baby. There's a spot.
What's quite curious is Percy's talking about his dream, and he's saying that the voice that he's been hearing doesn't sound like a god's voice. So is he seeing Hades, or is he seeing someone else entirely? Annabeth knows something that she's not telling us, because she's talking about how, no, it has to be Hades in the pit, it has to be. But it feels like she knows something that she's not telling us. Percy's just casually riding a shark. He just walked into the ocean and he's just like riding a shark. And he just left Grover and Annabeth. They're probably like, where's this guy going? Who is the man with them? Is Percy Jackson a delinquent, a terrorist, or perhaps the brainwashed victim of a frightening new cult? When we come back, we chat with a leading child psychologist. Stay tuned, America. Is it real that like a whole country would be so obsessed with the fact that this kid essentially, well, I guess it's quite a weird true crime case, right? Essentially, in the eyes of the public, this kid has like caused his mum to disappear, and now he's just like randomly popping up in different parts of America. I'm about to read the last 2 chapters. It's been a crazy ride so far. So we have learned that it was Ares behind the bolt being stolen, but he must have gotten someone to steal it for him, because gods can't steal from each other. So I'm thinking it could be Clarice, because Clarice is Ares' daughter, right? And she was there during the winter solstice when the bolt and the helm was stolen. Now, okay, where am I? The helm has been returned to Hades, thanks to the Furies. Percy fought Ares and won. Like, I'm actually mind blown. Percy won against a literal god. And now we're gonna go to Olympus. And we're gonna go give Zeus his bolt back. Hopefully he doesn't kill us. Something we still don't know is what the origin of the pit is. So Percy's been dreaming about the pit, and he's been hearing voices, and we don't know who that is yet. We have a feeling that Annabeth knows. I am kind of getting an idea of who it might be, because earlier in the book, Percy talks about it not sounding like a god, but it's still something powerful. I have a feeling it might be Kronos, the parent of Zeus and 6 of the gods. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling, because that would be quite a big villain for them to then go against. So, okay, we're gonna read the last couple of chapters. I'm really excited. I can't believe. Oh, okay. Yes, we're gonna read the last couple of chapters. Oh my gosh. Kronos! It is Kronos! He's healing, he's coming back. Lord Zeus has closed the discussion on this matter. Zeus's father is literally gonna come back and try and get revenge on the fact that he's been like just rotting in Tartarus for the last however many years. And Zeus is like, nah, don't have to worry. Even the Lord of Death pays his debts. You will find her at home. His mum is alive. Oh my gosh. Oh, so Zeus is essentially saying, oh, I'm sorry you were born, but I'm kind of proud of you at the same time. So, oh my gosh, we're going to see his mum. Oh. The cardboard box. Return to sender. Medusa's head. Whatever else you do, know that you are mine. You are a true son of the sea god. A package, a decision. Yeah, give it to your mum. Okay, going back to Camp Half-Blood. Oh, his mum. Okay, so Gabe has disappeared and she has made some money from selling a sculpture and she's gonna go do her education. She's gonna be a writer. Oh, Grover's gonna go out and search for Pan. I really hope he doesn't like disappear. Oh. Who stole the bolt and the helm in the first place? Because we don't know. Oh cute, he's got a little bead. Mr. D, all personal articles left behind will be incinerated in the lava pit. Have a nice day, Mr. D, Dionysus. I like him. Hi Luke. Gonna do some sword fighting together. Okay, there's like 5 pages left and Luke is acting shifty. Please don't be evil. Stop. You will be betrayed. You will be betrayed by one who calls you a friend and it was Luke. Don't trust. Oh my gosh, don't trust the gifts. The shoes was what almost pulled Grover into Tartarus. Stop. Stop, he's gonna kill Percy. No. Ares wasn't even in on the whole thing from the start. It was Kronos. Ares caught him and then was like, okay, he's alive. And Annabeth going home? Okay. Chiron is telling us not to be hasty, not to try and seek out revenge. Okay, we're gonna go home. We're gonna go home. I'll be back next summer. I'll survive until then. After all, I am your son. Oh my gosh. I finished it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that was eventful. Yeah, so there we have it. I finished Percy Jackson. I was not expecting that plot twist at the end. Why did Luke have to be evil? Like, wow, it's like, I honestly can't believe it took me this long to read this book. Like I'm actually shocked. I actually loved every single minute of it. I'm going to be rating it 5 stars. It was such a journey, such an adventure. I don't know how I've not read this. Like, I will definitely be reading the others in the series. I want to know what happens. I need to figure out the reading order because as far as I know, it's quite an extensive series. I want to take a moment to thank you, my fellow demigods, for following me along on this journey. Whether you are a seasoned camper or you've just found out who Percy Jackson is, like me, your view has meant the world. If you enjoyed watching me navigate the world of Percy Jackson, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more mythological adventures, and ring the notification bell like it owes you drachmas. Yeah, I need to go and sit with this for a bit. I need to go and take in everything that I've read, probably send a little message to my friends who have been wanting me to read this forever and be like, yeah, it was fantastic. I hope you have a great day, drink some water and read some good books. I would highly recommend this one. Bye!
I'm looking for you like a satellite, so if you wanna dip